Hey man, what's up? What's up, man? How was your weekend? I'm in the trade. Yeah, I was in the trade room last night. It's just a small position now. Hmm. Walls are pretty far today. I think this thing's just gonna continue to rip to the 30s. Of the final take profit at 602, 601 and 3/4. This might want to go to 630s. I don't know if I hit it. I might hit it right away, but certainly looks like it wants 630s. Given the gap up open, we gapped up over that the resistance wall. We kept failing. The break intraday was the 570s. That was the level from FOMC that we couldn't break. Right here. Yeah, this was the lower high. Failed, then broke out, gapped up over it. Level up. Next level up there is the 35s. Right here. And right here. $6,488. I didn't see the size. Ugh. $6,000 lots. I don't know. I didn't see that on here. What sticks out to me is this right here. This area right here had massive sellers twice. Right at the 55 right here, and then again here. The notional amount of buying here is like 2 billion plus. Let's see. Let's see. That 90.95 area, yeah, it's the prior month value high. So I agree. I agree. It's a higher time frame level. Let's see. Today is the first day I was trying to add the DOM as a confluence, like side by side, or so yeah, like the notional value of like these orders here together. This is like a billion for sure. What 700 is a quarter million or quarter billion. And you have this here 300 and I can't see. I think it's 300. That's another quarter billion. And you have these over here. Yeah, it's like about a billion between all these lots at 55. There's gonna be a key area probably going into just today. Yeah, it holds up, which is where VWAP is. Oh, for the confluence, it does help. I mean, I don't have the DOM per se. I just have a little chart, but yeah, I think as long as for me, it's like as long as I have it in relative to the overnight high and low, that's all I use it for. Oh, and VWAP. So where is Nasdaq relative to the overnight high and low and VWAP? And then I have some internals that I have in there too. So here's my little chart, right? Little thing right here. I have the internals, and then I have for ES and NQ, and then I have just where is price relative to the overnight high, overnight low, and then VWAP. I think for the Dow, you can see they're all moving in tandem for the most part. Above overnight high, above VWAP. Kind of totally different from last week when they were in two different areas at two different times. Right? Last week they were like totally in different, they were moving in opposite directions every single day. A lot of activity still at the 90s. Certainly doesn't seem like they want to break it. Since we're gapping up above the priority high from Friday, it's just a matter of like, can price hold the 75.68 area? The question here. 75.68. From last night, it's on the newsletter. You read the newsletter. I always reference the newsletter because there's going to be a lot of the trades and areas that I walk through. It's all there. It's always there. Just put the newsletter up and read it. Here it is. It says hold at minimum. Here's the bull case. I mean, there's a lot of context that I go over, right? But I'm just going to go into the view into the next session. This is the most recent newsletter. In this newsletter, question was, into next week, bulls have quite a... Oh, it doesn't matter. You can read this on your own time. Bull case at minimum, you have to hold the 75.31.28 prior monthly value or high. With any general acceptance over it, then we have 75.6872, which is literally where we're chopping around pre-market. And this could be constructive behavior to revisit the 75.90, which is what we did this morning. And then set 604, the prior day high from before that, which is where I'm targeting on the last runner here. So that pretty much it was just, it's a failed breakdown of this, of the 75.28. This is part of the plan. So I gave this bull plan here. I think I posted this on Thursday. For today, yeah. It doesn't matter. It says over here 622 into 622. Pre-market plans for 622. What's today? 622, right? I'm pretty sure I wrote the date right. So it's just a matter of this area is critical, right? For the past 2 days, from Wednesday and Thursday, I have been referencing this area, the 75.28.31 area, as being critical or crucial. So any failed breakdowns below it that reclaim back above were of interest for me. Pretty simple. Like it's a massive area. It's a prior month value or high. Any probes below that reclaim are of interest. So that's exactly what we did. We probe below, right? Probe below, right above it, right here. Ran, came back in, retested, and then ran again. It was that area, right? 30 through 28. That was pretty much it. It's just a prior month value high, failed breakdown, or retest, whatever you want to call it. I named it retest on the plan. You can, it's more of a retest. I'm not really, like, with that plan, I posted it Thursday, and it had nothing to do with what was going to happen Friday. I jumped from Thursday straight to Monday. You look at when I posted it. I don't either. I don't really reference it. So I posted it on, I think it says the date, June 18th, right? And this was for Monday's plan. So whatever happened on June 18th, it was just recapping June 18th, which is Thursday, and planning for Monday. Didn't even care what happened on Friday. I had nothing. I wasn't gonna really reference it. I just skipped it altogether. Yeah, so it's just like letting it probe below and then get back above if it's gonna hold. And there was a momentum move out of it. Let me see here. For example, here it is. You had a one initial bounce here, right off that same area, right off the open, overnight, and then you failed, and then you had a nice impulse back again. Right, this nice impulse here, grabbed the sellers, and then came back in, and even retested it again. Right, the same area that I gave on the newsletter. Where is it? I closed it. The letter. It was yeah, 31 to 28, which is right there where that line in the sand area I have drawn out is. 31 to 28. This little zone right here. Same zone that tested, reclaimed, or that tested, bounced, broke down, reclaimed, squeezed, retested higher. This little cluster. 31 to 28. Which is right here. That's pretty much it. And I think on the plan, I try to be as clear as possible when I make the plans as well. I think on the plan, I even, here it is. The zone, this zone reclaimed during the overnight session. I couldn't give in context. If we break down today, cluster of lows, 75.35, probe into 28.25 on weak volume. That would be a great failed breakdown setup to continue back to Thursday's magnet, 75.50, 75.60s with extension into 75.70. I think I meant 75.90. ES would sell down into 75.35. Price would ideally flush below 5.28. Oh, I didn't put the whole thing, but not consolidate below 75.15. You know, the funny thing about that is the low of the session was 75.15, or was it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, 75.14. So I said I don't want to see it consolidate below 5.15, and the low of the session was 75.14. Check it out. But not consolidate under 75.15 critical. ES would reclaim a back of 28.31 and put in a 15-minute close. That was the trigger. And the targets are right here. There you have it. That Substack plan kind of gave you the parameters to look for, what not, what you don't want to see. And then the reclaim. You made it back up. Well, that's good. You took the entry. You know, it's, if you found the entry and you took it, it's good. On the reclaim. I hope that kind of gives a broad answer. Why? Yeah. There you go. And Q is making new highs. Yeah, it's holding pretty well. Holding pretty well. I agree. The line in the sand for me is just the prior day high. When we have gap ups, so let's see. Go to the classifier. We have gap ups of the above the prior day high, so the open is outside prior day high. If it fails, means price breaks backs below, then you have a gap fill scenario. We have not done that at all, so I'm not really concerned for the runner that I have open. So because we open above, clean bounces, forms lower form, higher low forming above the part H, so gap extension. The part A high held as support, gap extension confirm, size up longs on confirmed bounce. Market is accepting higher prices. That's the reason I'm not really concerned about the runner that I have open that's fluctuating like 20 points. Because of that area is holding. Gap up. The fire drive continue. Save that data. You're cooking today? I'm glad, man. That's good news. And QDOM gives me 3 to 5 seconds ahead of yes. It's not always the case, but yeah, that's good. I'm gonna close this out right here at 93.50 or 93, whatever hits. There you go. Let's close it there. Yeah. And then I'll see if they dip lower. Do like lower levels. I want to see it come down to at least again right here at the 68s. Ideally, that's where we get kind of the next leg, or the next setup would trigger somewhere around there. We're right at like the monthly point of control, so kind of chop around for a little bit. This is a monthly point of control area where we're at right now. So let me see. It's like around the it's at 7586, the monthly point of control. So about 5 points away. It's normal for it to be choppy like this. You have a point of control area nearby. The tape is really thin. It looks like they're waiting on something. There's some sort of news coming down the pipe or something. Seems kind of odd. It's probably going to squeeze higher. It looks like a P profile right now on the volume profile. Or the time-based profile. A P profile forming potentially here. Might squeeze higher, maybe into 614. 614 is the point of control from is that? I can't see the dates on this one. I gotta close this. Last week, I think, on Tuesday. It's the point of control from 6:15, which is Monday, I think. Yeah, I think it's Monday. That's the next target up if it breaks 6:14. Why is the daily flip there? Something wrong? Authorized Iranian oil sell through August. Wow. I think it was like a 60-day window they gave them. I would like for them to come down, but I'm not sure if they will come down to the 60s again. 75, 68, 75, 75, 55, anywhere in there, that area. Do like a breakdown of this area here. I like this area right here. Right here. Anywhere within this vicinity. See what they do. We're below the daily flip, so any sells should be amplified. Daily flips up here, pretty far out. We're just chopping around the monthly point of control, man. Check it out. the current month point of control. We're just chopping around it. Right there. So it's going to be messy for a little while until we kind of deviate away from it. It looks like a breakdown right now, which is good. I want to see it come down, retest about, again, that priority high. It's 568. I think that's the one from Friday. The one from Thursday is right here, actually. Right here, where we're at right now. Kind of near the overnight high. This little cluster right here is where the priority high is. You want to see it hold that. They're holding again. They spiked down to the open and held. The IB is about to be set, so if they can do like a failed breakdown of the IB also, that would be great. Looks like they're breaking the low here. Okay, they're coming to the party high. We just don't want to see. They just barely tapped low below the open. I want to see more weakness before I initiate anything. Do I merge them? Yeah, I do merge them. Like Friday, I merged with Thursday. I compile them sometimes. I'll compile a few days. Like back here, I compiled a few sessions. Yeah, I always compile a few. I make composite profiles. It helps, at least me, we see the bigger picture. I have one up here. You can see it's like compiled. You have compile here, this one, and then this one, and I compiled this one. I'll collapse a few together. Okay, here it is. Coming lower. We're hitting the value or high from the prior session and VWAP. No push away. The DOM's still dead, so there's not much interest that I see on the selling nor the buying. If it doesn't get any momentum away from this area, then I'll just wait for this area right here. The 55s. And where all this notional is. Overall, not looking too good. Looks like it popped and just faded so far. Ideally, you want to see it get above the party high. That way it continues to gap and go. And then by IB is about to form in like 30 seconds here. And we're trading right at the low. Well, I'm gonna close that runner at 93 now. Wow. Came down 30 points. Ugh. Here's 55s. Okay. Like bids here if we can get a reclaim. It gets hold. It can hold here. Tape's accelerating a little bit. Okay, I'll put a bid here. See if they fill me. I want to be at 35, somewhere around there for the stop. It's not the best area, to be honest, just because it's below VWAP. Just I don't like to be, especially if we gapped up over it. It's not a good sign. But well, why does it do that? I don't understand why I just closed my position. Let me see. I'll bid again. And did that yesterday too. I don't know what the hell that was about. Anyway. Looking at like a failed move up. Or the gap fill. I might just do the whole gap fill down. Yeah, it's not looking too hot. 35s. Oh, wrong account. Let me just make sure I have the right one over here. There you go. Long here 50s. There's I like the area here. If it can. Why does it keep doing that? I don't even have. I'm gonna just disable this for now because I don't know if this is the reason or what. It just keeps trailing me out of the trade. I don't even know why. This is the what, the second time, and I can't figure out why it's doing it. My stop loss isn't even trailing or anything. Anyway, I'm re-entering the trade in the same spot and stopped. This thing's either trailing me out or moving my stop. I don't know what it's doing, Sierra chart, or what if it's rhythmic. I don't know where the issue is. But anyway, we're long here 50 again. See what it does. But what I don't like is that we're below VWAP after having gapped up over it. We're trading well below IBL. A few points below, not too much. But ideally, I'd like to see it reclaim IBL, retest VWAP, which is where I'll scale some. And then we'll see if we can get a continuation past that point. Overall, it's looking pretty weak. NQ is well below VWAP. The Dow is right at VWAP. We're below the priority low from Friday. I think the priority low from Thursday is a little higher. But I like the 55 area. Just again, the notional amount of value that transacted here to break out is right here. It was about $1 billion. I assume they'll want to defend that on any dips, which is the reason I like it initially. And then it's also a cluster of lows here. That has been failed many times for a breakout, as you can see here. So I'm looking to see if they can actually reclaim this time around. I have a reclaim little loan. Reclaim hold, and then we'll test the 68 area probably. Somewhere around there. And then the pirate month value high, somewhere underneath that. But if they fail to hold VWAP, and if they pop here and they fail on their VWAP, we're probably going lower. That's where my scale is for the most part on some of this. Gonna be at VWAP. Not the RTH, but the full session. I'm open to buying more if I can somehow manage the stop a little higher, but for now it looks like the stop has to go where it is. 55s is the reclaim. There's 55. Has to hold with conviction over and then it'll retest. We broke a few levels down without retesting from underneath, so if we do ramp, we can likely retest the priority high at 568, and then after that retest the 80 area, the 85, 83 breakdown. There's a couple of breakdowns that happened within the last hour. Anyway, I will be back. I gotta take my son to school, so I'll let this thing kind of play out and see what happens. Let me what was the news? Is oil prices fall below 70 on 60-day pause? Okay, that's an old headline. Old headline for sure. Anyway, I will be back in a few. Overall, we need to reclaim. They need to reclaim 55s. Right now it's pretty weak. It's holding below the Friday low, even on this little pop. So if it doesn't reclaim and push above this Friday low, 55s, then it's coming down to the overnight session area, which is like 30. I'll get stopped out for sure. But yeah, I'll be back in a view, see how this thing plays out on my way. Like we're near my stop. Let me see here. All right, cool. How about the chat? Put it up here. Pretty slow tape it seems. We're kind of drifting lower, but again, if we get a momentum push, I'm willing to add to this trade. But for now, looks like they're gonna hit my stop. Because we're melting down. The slow melt. Oh, it's accelerating now. As I said, we're slowing down. It's accelerating. Okay. They couldn't reclaim the 55s. This thing's gonna come down pretty hard. If it gets below and holds below that 30 area. There's a put wall just below that. See how it holds. If this is going to be a sell, this is probably going to be a sell until what, like midday, New York lunch time. It'll probably sell off into New York lunch if it's going to be a real sell. These kind of days, if they sell for a few hours. And here's the same reclaim spot. It has to get above this time around. I would say at least deep 36s for me to want to be interested for a long. This is the same area from last night. So see if it holds or not. If it holds again, this is crazy, but this level's been holding for some time. You can see that it's clearly been support for a period of time. I want to see a hold above 36s just to be sure. We're heading into that area right now. I'll try it if it gets to a 36s. That'll probably be my final attempt. I just don't see a structural failed breakdown though, so I might need it to go lower before I take it long. I needed to trade the put wall. Trade down into the put wall and see if it can hold that area. This one. Either that or reclaims kind of where we broke down from 46s. We broke down from before, because this looks like a nice reversal happening right now. But I'd like to see a reclaim 46s. This little valley area. Right here. Right, this is where we were supporting between here and the IBL. So reclaim above this, hold, and then it can trend a little bit. We'll see how much juice they have. 36 is a reclaim within itself. It's the valley area low from this week. But I just personally just don't trust it yet. At least not off the first reclaim, given how much we've sold off. These kind of days are usually indicative. When we sell off like this, it's usually almost like a half day sell. Like it sells off for the entire half of the day. I want to make sure I give it some space to reclaim a few levels before I do want to take a long. Because if it wants to sell off, it's going to sell off for a little while. Here's the 46s they're trying to reclaim. See if they can push past this area here. 46s. I'll probably put a bid like at, let's see here. Yeah, like a little bit below it. It's like 43s. 43. Somewhere around here is good. We'll respect the low for now as the stop, but the same area keeps holding that prior month value high from earlier. 36 is held on that reclaim. I guess I should have added there, but I wasn't too comfortable with it. We'll see how we do here on this hold. I need to see this reclaim looks pretty solid, but I need to see it come back in, retest somewhere in this little midpoint. 45 area. Kind of where we reclaimed here. And see if he holds. I have a bid at 43 3/4. If it breaks this time around the below this current low that's made right now, then we're definitely likely to flush, because that's that kind of low right there. That kind of low, it looks like this one here. Where is it? Oh shoot, I don't have one recent. It could be like this one where we have like a base, a nice spike base, and then if we consolidate below it right here, consolidate below it, we can break down further. That time I would assume we come down to the actual lows, somewhere between 500 and 480, if we do break this time. But yeah, we would need to break this low here, and then consolidate underneath it, and then we can drift down. Pretty odd to have a B profile, a capital B profile. Looks like that might be what happens here. We have a split auction. We haven't had one of these in a long time. Double distribution. They're holding it pretty well. Okay. Yeah, they can push down and fill me. And they're holding 46 is pretty decent. Okay, I'll put a bid at 47 and then more below. Gonna be quarter size, and then we'll go from there. Fill 2. If we fill the rest below. If it holds. all the stops together. Here. 6, yeah, total 6. Okay, cool. We're right here at view up on most of this. We'll see how this plays out. Overall, I mean, the big sell came in. If we can't hold right now within the next, I would say for the next half hour going into Euro close, if we can't hold this value low, right, this little area right here, then I'm gonna get stopped out. Right here, we gotta hold this area. Not holding, so right now it's likely gonna stop me out on this trade. The breaks 27 and consolidates underneath, and we definitely come down to this area where we sold off on, what was it, Thursday or Wednesday on FOMC? Somewhere right here, 480, 468, down here. It's likely when we come down. You gotta hold below that prior month value high, which is again that line in the sand area right here, 20s. 31 through 28. Anywhere holding below that, it's not a good sign. This area has been tested multiple times, so if it doesn't reclaim or hold this time around, it's likely to break down. I've been trying to support this area for a while now. We're still holding above it right now, 36s. But any prolonged holds below here, we likely come down here. Prior month, point of control. That's like the magnet 480. And then below that is 68, which is a value low. But I'm long. Just giving downside magnet moves if it does break down. It was like they held at 36s. That might have been the level to be long instead. The 36s, not the yeah, this is where I have the reclaim on my chart. 36. And where that low is. That might have been the area to be long instead of the one I was at. 40s, 46s. But we'll see. At minimum, going into Euro close, I'd like to see us hold above the 44s or 546, the value low from the prior session. I think it's from Thursday. 546. Kind of like the support. I have a little highlighted area here. That's like the minimum you need to see going into Euro close. Right here. We gotta hold into that. We have about 15 minutes till that kind of completes, but we're building base. Really, I mean, the thing is, we're building also a base below the IB low for the day. We haven't really crossed back above it. We'll see what happens. I'm giving it till Euro close. See what happens here. I'm giving it to like another 15 minutes or so to know, kind of more or less, as all the volume kind of leaves with what's left. Actually, let me fix that. Looks like gap extension that failed. Gap up. And then it was gap failed. Alright, we'll bid a couple more. Some volumes coming in here on the tape. You can see the orders are stacking there on the heat map too. We're running into Euro close. Like some of that volume hitting the wire here. Or the tape, the Euro close volume. Overall, see if it holds. It's still getting met by his passive selling. There's some sellers that are waiting. Right here, it looks like there's some orders resting there. How many lots? Let's see. Quite a bit of lots. Yeah, 512. Oh, they disappeared. There's some sellers flashing, waiting there. And then they kind of go away. So I'm not sure if they filled already or what, but there's like about 500 lots waiting. Yeah, they're getting a strong imbalance down now. It's pretty weak overall. I mean, pretty weak, very weak action for the bulls. They're breaking the below 36s. See if this does a failed breakdown here, or if it actually flushes. See if it holds a reclaim. It's again still waiting for that 8:30 close. Here's the reclaim spot. They keep trying to save it right there. I'm not sure if it's gonna hold though. Overall, tape looks pretty weak. Not much participation. If it happens to hold, you know, something like that, I'll add more and then I'll probably just raise my stop loss around here. Somewhere in this area. Tape's waking up a little bit here as we head into Euro close. Momentum's accelerating just a tad, but I will have to adjust my stop loss in a few right here, just below this low. But I needed to see it. In order for me to want to do that, I need to see it hold this area, 46. Hold the 46, and then I'll raise the stop from there. In your turn now. See, these guys keep flashing here, but they don't fill anything. 490 now. We'll see. There's like a lot of passive sells there, just like advertising. I don't know if they're gonna fill or not, but they keep doing that here. They did that yesterday too, overnight at 55s. The reclaim level held so far. Again, 46s. I need to see a hold this area. A hold here. And then I'll raise my stop. I obviously entered too early. I was trying to be long here, thinking they would hold this area. It seems like the right entry was the reclaim spot. 36s. We'll see if it ends up defending or not. Euro close is about to finish in like 5 minutes. Like I said, Euro is going to kind of tell me more or less if we can continue to hold, retest VWAP, the full session VWAP here into Euro close or post Euro close, or if they're just going to fade out and break down into New York lunch. Euro closes in like 5. And there's a bunch of limit orders here looking to sell. See if they're going to get squeezed out. Look at them right there. They're stacked right there, which is where they need to be. Their sellers are piling in where they need to be, right at the value low area. So that's, if you're a bear, you have some structure leaning and then participation showing up on the tape, letting you know that they're willing to defend or the structural area that needs to hold below. But bearish speaking, there's more structure favoring downside. I'm not sure if it's going to get rewarded, but it's favoring downside structure. Participants are there. We're holding below value or low. We sold off from the gap up. Like structurally, everything says bearish, but we'll see if they see. Look, another defense. What time is it? 25. That was a big slap. Not sure if that was a participant or just some random action, but it's a big push. Yeah. So overall, it looks like bears have the edge here. They pushed pretty aggressively. They're still holding below value. I'm long, so I'm on the other side of that trade. So we'll see who gets favored, who gets played out. I'm on the long end of this. If they do, we'll come right to 57, which is the prior value or low, which also coincides with the VWAP, which is where I'm going to scale. And then after that, we'll target prior day high. And then after that, just it pretty much comes out to 80s right here. But we'll see. So I'm going to scale and layer. So here, and then I'll just have a small piece in case it trends. But for now, the bears have the control here. It looks like they have bears still pushing. You're heading euro close like 10 seconds, so I would like to have seen, like I said, in euro close hold in the 40s. We didn't do it. So this just tells me euro close about to start right here. Just tells me that unfortunately the bears have control. I'm going to be wrong here. I'll probably get stopped out. I'll just hold it and see what happens. Structurally, we'll see. Bears have control. Bulls are weak. They should be able to now, after this is over, break below this and then come in and take out this low. Right? That's where I'm at. I'm right here on the stop. Somewhere in this area. They can come get me if they want it, but as long as this 36 is hold, I'm gonna want to hold it for now. Another bid here. 370. It's like what's the notion on that? Like 100 million. Yeah, 130 million. Notional right there. Bum, 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 bum. If they bid over 46s, I'll probably buy more and then raise the stop after this. But they got to get over 46s. And so far, the structure is bearish, holding below. But if bears fail to break this low right here and this low, all their efforts are going to get squeezed out, and we'll likely revisit VWAP shortly after. So I'm willing to add to the trade if they fail. Again, they got to hold above this area. Some volatility kicked in there, so hold on. Probably bid in a little bit. See if it holds. All right, I'll bid. I bid more there, and then I'll raise the stop in a little bit. So let's see. I need 6 right here. Okay. I just bid more because that little push is gonna. If it holds, this should squeeze out some sellers, and we'll test VWAP. But if it doesn't hold, then it was just a trap. See if I can raise my stop now. 33s. There you go. So I raise my stop now. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Doom, doom, boom. Anyway, what I was saying is, like, if they can hold momentum and push, they tried and they failed. I don't know if this is gonna hold now. They squeezed into it, right into it. If they can hold here, we'll likely hit the VWAP first up, which is aligned perfectly with the Valor low as well, right here. But so far, that was a trap, I guess. We'll see if they have enough momentum to push out of it. The NQ is pretty weak. That's the one that's really holding things back here. Is the Nasdaq's the weaker one. It's about to break a new low right now. Or not new low, but it's about to hit to the lows of the session. The Dow is holding right at overnight high above VWAP, so it's really just isolated its weakness into the Nasdaq. I don't know which sector it is, but it'd be a few stocks or a sector. So I wouldn't say there's broader market weakness. It's just isolated. What? He's at school. 8:30? Yeah. What's that? Huh? No? You see accumulation on the NQ? Like, what do you mean, like, for a long, or? I mean, it's consolidating, it's holding a level. I have a level drawn out there, I just don't have a reference for why I drew that level. Again, I don't really look at the 9Q time frame too much. I have it open, but I just look at where it is and relative to. It's below the priority low. Okay. See, this is an NQ chart right here. And it's holding some levels. Yeah, looks like it popped, gapped, sold. It's kind of right here right now on the. So it could be holding for a squeeze up if it breaks priority high. I don't really look at it. I just look at it where it is in relevance to overnight levels and VWAP. Let's see if they tag me here on this push. Again, I'm long, so see if the push is strong enough. Yes, long. Okay. Yeah. Here's 5.3. I'll take some off. I have 5.3. Where's VWAP at? 5, a little higher. Yeah, somewhere around here. 54 is where we rejected earlier. So I'll kind of, there, I'll scale some there. Scale more at 5.4, and then we'll get down to just a half position, or a little under half. Made some coin. It's funny, little notification. Okay, so I'm down to just a little under half the size. And then the next one will go down here where we broke down from. It will hit a runner from there. So 6.7 is like the priority high. It's where we broke down from. So I'm expecting if we do breach and hold above VWAP, we'll probably backtest this area from below. Right here. It'll probably backtest. Huh? Oh. So we'll see if it holds. Position will scale the remainder 30% at the 68-70 area and then hold runner. You show consistently professional process, but it's very instructive to watch. Hey man, thanks. I mean, I don't have much sway, right? Like I kind of talk what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and why, and then if it works, I know where I'm targeting. If it doesn't, you know, I get stopped out like earlier at the 35s. You know, just wait for the structure to form again and go from there. It's not much like I try not to be confusing, right? I can see both sides. Like as things were selling off or as price was consolidating here, I'm like giving out the bear thesis that I see, right? That I'm not betting in favor of, but I see it. And then I also say if they break, you know, the Valor high 46s, if they can hold, it's a straight shot to VWAP, and it's exactly what they did. right? 46 is held right here. Straight shot to VWAP. Now, if they hold VWAP, my assumption is they'll back test this area right here. This little cluster from the morning where we broke out of. If we can hold VWAP, then my assumption is we just come back into the open / parity high. Or this little area. I mean, this is where I'm looking to scale, 67. Go from there. But again, it's all contingent upon if this and that. But yeah, thanks. Show consistency, professionals, process and discipline. Yeah, and then also like I try to give the areas in advance. I'm not just pulling them out of nowhere. You know, the areas have been. I will reference the areas with objective data. I don't really just say, oh, I like this level. As you can see, as we're going through the session, I'm telling you like this area here, kind of highlighting why, highlighting the why, highlighting the why, you know, like the orders, structure and everything, the reclaim and so on and so forth, right? At which point I'll move my stop loss and why, where I'll add to the trade and why. Like I'm giving as much context as possible so it's making sense where my thought process is as why I'm entering a trade, why I'm adding to the trade. Because the why is important, right? Because I started off with like I think 2 lots and I added 4 more. I added 2 more lots and I added 2 more lots and then I scaled. So I ended up doubling the position size and then scaling out of it. The only concern here is if they tug back below, they hit VWAP and then tug back below 46s, it's probably dead. But we'll let that market decide if that's gonna happen or not. I'll leave my stop where it is and go from there. That's wrong on my face right now. And the thing is, like, I mean, I saw this morning, you know, I said there's a breakdown probably happening right here. I'm just not short biased anymore. I don't short, in other words. Like, I see the short setup, but I won't take it. Even if it means it's the clearest trade in the book right now. But anyway, I think that wraps up for me today. If this comes back in, you know, I want to see a bounce here and hold and not accept below 40s, because then it just definitely will break down, right? There's 2 scenarios that can happen here. We can either do that or something like this, test here and then come back and go higher. The 46s are a huge tell if we retest. We're either going to break, hold, reclaim, push higher, or break, hold, accept underneath, and then fail. There's the test here. So there's the setup, see? They're doing it right now. They accept below 46s here. This is, like I said, if they hold below it and they accept underneath 46s. And then volatility is picking up. So that's exactly what you want to see here in this kind of action. So just generally all they have to do is just accept below 46. and then they'll push it down. If they push back above 46s, then I'll just hold what I have. I'm not going to add to it. Here's the neckline, right, of the whole scenario I just painted a little while ago. This is the neckline. We gotta hold either above or below here. So you want to see a rejection here, probe, rejection, or it's gonna squeeze out of here and just kind of return to where we were. This is like a binary area, 46. It should go above 685. Okay, well, good reference. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, if the value area low on this one is right here, just kind of where it's supporting at. So if it does break below it, well, yeah, it's good night. Here's the value low on the NQ. You can see it's like right where we've been supporting. So if it holds below that, yeah, definitely good night. It was 1,000? What the fuck? Yeah. Hmm? It was what? No, 628. A big jump. I don't know. No idea. Did you look at the last statement? Did I have that too? Did the last statement have that too? Yeah, I did. All right, well, I mean, look at this trade here. I don't have much to do now. Just let it play out. It's either gonna resolve to the upside or downside here. Either it's gonna reject, like I said, lower, and then if not higher here into this area. Let me check. It was pretty good. $230. It's a different utility, that's why. Like 320. And then also during the winter it was like I think 110. Sure. So anyway, as I was this breaks out, holds above, then it goes, you know, I have the exposure. If it fails, which looks likely now here, stops me out at 33. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm not gonna have much else to trade here. This is gonna be the only trade. I scaled out when I needed to, held another few contracts. So if it pushes past VWAP into the second half of the day and somehow the NQ manages to hold its value low, then I'll have exposure to the upside. If it trails me out on the rest of the position, that's fine. So I'll call it a day here and I'll be back tomorrow. It's gonna let this thing play out however it kind of wants to clean up. Pretty choppy overall, pretty neutral given the structure. I would say currently the bears have control. As you can see, they're rejecting from below 46s, but they did manage to do that a few times and fail. Who knows if that continues to be the case if they hold over. Just a matter of what happens here at this area. We'll go from there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. See you, Jim. Anyone else who's here?